Hola bandidos, ¿cómo estamos? Welcome to Mel's Magic Official. I'm Magic Mel, and this is Owl, my spirit guide. You can't miss him now. I pulled him so close. How are you guys doing? I was about to go to bed, but I felt like recording a video, so I just slapped some slapstick lipstick on, and here we go. No makeup for the rest, mainly because sometimes not that I put on much anyway, but I don't know, people who wear a lot of makeup and then once you see them without makeup, you're like, oh my God, is that the same person? I don't want to scare myself in the morning by getting used to just wearing makeup. In any case, it brings the focus to one area, remember, composition-wise. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. So let me feel into this. I shared with you yesterday a few of my wins, internal wins. I've noticed also that my posture in general is better. It might seem like a minor detail, but if you think about it, our body holds so much information. For example, I used to walk around more like this, kind of curved, and it was a protective stance. The dance classes I'm taking, the teacher, she's amazing. She's all about the mind-body complex, and she's always like, open yourself, open your posture. And I noticed that actually sitting and standing straight, in the beginning, it felt scary because I was attached and used to this closed posture, this protective posture. So literally opening up, I had to ease into it and feel confident enough to literally expose this area. And if you think about it, this is our heart area. When somebody used to tell me in the past, stand straight. I mean, you try it, just stand straight. Don't we all just pull our shoulders back? I realized though, it's not just the shoulders, it comes from the root, from the very way that you're standing. And that again is nothing minor. Really standing with both of our feet grounded and solid on the ground. And from there, generating the energy to push ourselves up from the root, using our core and then opening our heart space. Because if you open your heart space, you immediately have better posture. So today I actually realized, oh, I have better posture. I'm actually getting used to exposing my heart more. And that is, yeah, it's tied to the posture, but it's also in general. Yesterday I told you I wrote these 77 points of Kyle Cease's exercise. If you haven't done it yet, check out my last video where I posted Kyle Cease's exercise in the comments box. He's great. I mean, he's so just authentic, just straight up, as if you were talking to someone like, in your living room, not somebody, there's no artifice about him. In any case, I looked at my list again this morning. I thought, I don't know, it's not, sure, I want to experience all of these things, but I want to go deeper. So I refined or I added to my list and made it more experiential based. For example, I want to experience the magic of true surrendered co-creation. Meaning, I'm willing to release the control of my mind over situations. I'm ready to seize more of that control. I don't know if I can totally let go of it, total surrender, but that is my intention. Because I realize the mind can only take me so far. The mind only, it's a beautiful computer, but often it defaults back to information we already know. Insight, intuition comes from a higher realm, or deeper knowing pulls from dimensions that are beyond just the conceptual mind. So true surrender co-creation yeah, requires faith, because we can only really surrender if we have faith, if we trust. Surrendering the need for control and trusting ourselves, trusting life, trusting the universe, but also trusting ourselves to be able to navigate this state of surrender, to respond to it. Co-creation, that's kind of self-evident. No, I mean, we are the creators, but obviously I no longer want to create just from my personal small self, the small ego. I want to surrender my personal, or unite my personal will with the divine will. And I want to feel how that feels like. I can only imagine that it will be magical. And I've had instances of that already. The good thing also is the more we trust, it's like anything, no? We build muscle. The more we trust, the easier it gets. The more we can ease into it. I feel these past 6 months especially have been encouraging me to discern, to choose. Do I still want this, or do I want better? Do I still want this, or do I want better? Does this still serve me or not? How does this make me feel, heavy or light? So I've been kind of filtering things and creating space inside of myself and in my physical space. And now there's this energy or this intuition that something big is about to happen. I shared with you how I've been resting for the past 2 weeks, but I've also been doing internal work. Maybe even resting is internal work, because it's helping our body to reset and to acclimatize to the new state of affairs energetically. I was thinking also about, or feeling into this, just this intuition that something big is about to happen. Let's say a good opportunity is going to happen. If we're not ready, solid inside, meaning if we haven't done the work of building our inner fortress of worthiness, of self-love, then even if there's something big, this upgrade, this opportunity will arrive, we'll probably reject it, or we won't be able to hold it. It's happened to me in the past. I've had loads of golden opportunities, but my self-esteem was so crippled. I was carrying this huge void, a void that was supposed to be filled with my self-love, but was just a vacuum, a hollow vacuum. I wasn't able to hold what was given to me because I felt unworthy of it. I felt inferior. So I don't want to repeat the same pattern. In any case, I feel I'm a different frequency. But it really is that we can only receive love, for example, or receive the golden opportunity if we deem ourselves worthy of it. Holding the frequency of opportunity, that frequency is based on our self-love, on our worthiness. It's all linked. Self-worth, faith, trust. Only then can we truly surrender, unless, of course, we resist so much, also happened to me. We're in such a state of pain or despair that, the last option is to surrender. That or something self-destructive. But it doesn't have to be that difficult. We don't have to be coerced by ourselves, literally into a corner until we sway the white flag and surrender. No. Let's just flow with the energy. It's much less painful. And why not open ourselves to the experience of magic? I wrote down also, I want to experience like the sublime, awe, bliss, because I'm curious. I really want to feel that. For a long time in my life, I was so used to feeling heavy and either guilty or unworthy, powerless. I just got used to it. So when all of a sudden from the breakdown, I was catapulted to the other extreme and suddenly felt joy, I was pretty disoriented. Because up to that moment, I'd never felt real, true joy. I didn't really know that feeling was possible. But now I'm thinking, wow, if joy is possible, then what does bliss feel like? I do get glimpses of the feeling of the sublime and awe just being in nature. For example, when I drove back from the beach today, I saw the setting sun and it was blood red because it was a bit hazy today, and I was just like, wow, amazing. Afterwards, I was in the garden and I looked up and there was half the moon. Remember, it's going to be full moon on Monday. And I'm like, wow, amazing. It's these moments of connection where you suddenly snap out of your mind chatter and realize how miraculous nature is. I was actually late to go for my swim today. It was almost 8, but I thought, you know what? Let's go anyway. Life is too short. I want to feel good now, not tomorrow. And it was worth it. I guess that's one of the many points for which I'm grateful for the pain and the hard times I've gone through, because I don't postpone things anymore. It's given me a frame of reference or perspective, a counterpoint, a contrapunto, a contrast to which I can set everything else. There's a reason to be joyful every day, honestly, guys. Why not? Pourquoi pas? There's just as many reasons to be joyful as we can complain about, but we usually focus on what we can complain about. It's literally a change of perspective. A change of perspective that then induces a change of perception, because suddenly when we focus on what actually is working and what we can be grateful for, more reasons arise, and that state of being feeds on itself. Well, no, actually it doesn't feed on itself. Good energy needs to be nurtured. Negative energy feeds on itself. But what I mean is it expands this state. What else did I write down? I want to feel connected and lighter. Connection is one of our basic human needs. We are wired for connection. It's just crazy that in our world, or let's say in the old paradigm, it's all about separation. We're healing from that though. As we connect back to ourselves, to first of all, the pain we've been carrying, once we really feel what needs to be felt and release it, connect with our inner child, connect with source again, we suddenly connect or able to connect better with others. Once we've laid down these filters of our own pain, we can see things more clear, we can empathize with people more. And it's really linked. We connect with ourselves, we can connect with the macrocosm, because we realize, oh, if I felt this pain, if I went through this, then somebody else must have gone through something similar. I used to wonder, how the hell is it possible that tarot readers, that I resonate with tarot readings that somebody else across the globe is pulling? How does that work? It's because we are all connected. Okay, especially with tarot readings, there are certain cycles or soul groups where we go through similar situations, specific similar situations. But overall, this notion of oneness, as trippy as it may seem, and whether we take it from a theological or atheistic, I don't know if it's the right word, you know what I mean, viewpoint, it makes sense. So the theological one is we're all connected on a spiritual level because we all came from source. So we're all fragments from source. And we came into this experience because to actually feel and see how life is as a separate avatar, as a separate piece of consciousness or unity of consciousness. Or we're going back into unity consciousness, Christ consciousness, in which we realize that we're all connected. And that's not even difficult to understand. Once we really realize that, first of all, when I first realized that, like really not just intellectually, but really felt it, it took away this burden of not belonging. Because in a sense, we all belong to each other. It makes me be able to connect with someone, a stranger in the street, knowing that, yes, I may not know the person, but hey, it is a brother or sister in the larger scheme of things. We're all in this together. Connection really is everything, because if we're not even connected to our own feelings, how can we have empathy for someone else's pain? Sometimes I used to wonder in the past, like, wow, how can we just allow so many atrocities to happen? Okay, that's another big topic. But then I realized, well, I'm not even there for my own pain. How can I really be there for someone else's pain if I haven't even dealt with mine? If I'm not even connected to myself? That's why this inner work is so important. And that's why, this axiom of when we heal ourselves, we heal the world. It's not just conceptual, it's true. When we heal ourselves, we feed that back into the collective, and there can be a exponential ripple. So the 21st monkey effect. I want to listen to my calling. And calling doesn't have to be, again, this big purpose thing. My calling over the past weeks has been simply to rest. My calling earlier today was to drive to the beach and swim, even if it's for just 5 minutes. I had an intuition that it would make me feel better, but I wasn't sure what the exact outcome was. But it was a calling, and I just follow it. And that's something I want to do more. I trust that calling instead of questioning it and overanalyzing it and justifying it or reasoning myself out of it. It's trusting that this calling comes from some voice, whether it's our intuition, our higher selves, our guides, God, the universe, that is nudging us forward in the right direction. It's a bit like a treasure hunt. And I love treasure hunts. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to just see where it leads me without having to know what the outcome is. That's trust. That's faith. The more I do that, though, the more I realize it is really there for my highest good. It wants me to feel good or expand or grow. And it's quite simple. It's just a nudge. There's no overcomplication. There's no stories from the mind. The mind makes everything complicated. The body is a simple yes or no. before the mind jumps in and starts to spin its stories. Try it out. And how often have I bulldozed the calling or the nudgings or the voice or the intuition or even just my own feelings? It's literally self-abuse. Yeah, it's violence against ourselves, against our true nature calling, bulldozing the intuition. And no wonder we get confused then, because when we're up in our mind, when we try to make decisions just from our mind, tell me, isn't it confusing? Because we can open 10,000 doors and rationalize and fret over it and spin stories, and we still don't have a clearer picture because the emotions are missing, the heart is missing, the intuition is missing. It's literally a dissociated mechanism that's trying to figure things out, running around in circles in the hall of mirrors up here. It drives ourselves mad. It drove me mad in the past. Over-analyzing things. Being in a stalemate when it comes to making decisions. Being at an intersection where I had to choose left or right. I usually got stuck in the middle. There's this meme I saw on Instagram once. There's a road and there's an intersection left, right, and there's a skeleton in the middle. And it was something like, by the time you make your decision, you might as well pass away already. We get stuck in analysis paralysis, and doesn't it drive you mad? The confusion and the worrying and the anxiety that ensues from overthinking. I also wrote down, I want to move from the heart. I really want to learn that. Because the heart actually seeks connection. It's the mind that separates and categorizes and labels. Excuse me, guys, my nose. Blame it on the spirit guides. But I really want to live from this open space more and connect. Yeah. A bit of lost for words today. That's never happened. Shall I pull a card for you guys? Vamos. Vamos allá. What should we do? Let's pull an oracle card from the Divine Feminine deck. The Divine Feminine energy is on the rise in all of us. Doesn't matter whether you're male or female. It's a type of energy. It's the allowing energy, the intuitive, the creative, the nurturing, the dark, the mysterious. The feminine energy has been repressed and violated for a long time. So whether you're male or female, we're all asked to go back into our heart, to face our feelings, to feel our feelings. It doesn't make us any weaker. That's a misconception. Actually, it takes strength to feel your feelings. It takes courage. We do anything and everything to escape our feelings because we're scared to really feel the pain of feeling things. To have an open heart can be scary because, yeah, we're going to feel everything. But I'd rather have a bandwidth of feelings and feel them, truly feel them, than be in a anesthetic, apathetic, blah mode. It's also when we open our heart that we can really connect with others and we see the suffering that's going on in the world. If we're stuck in our own suffering, we cannot even extend the empathy or share from our abundance with other people because we haven't even resolved our own. We're literally unresourced or depleted ourselves. So I hope you're connecting with your feminine energy, your anima aspect. The feminine energy is also wise and speaks from the soul. So let's see what the oracle cards have to say. I'm going to take mine too. I had one, but I'm not going to show you. Let's see what comes out from me. Excuse me, guys. Is this a recording? Yes. Vale, venga. Vamos. Dear Divine Feminines, dear Asuka team, please connect with your Asuka team. Who of you would like to connect with us today? Thank you so much. I haven't pulled these for a while now. Hey, Al, oh my God, you're right beside me. It's better. The painting is actually not by me, it's by my mentor, Yargo de Luca. His spirit is literally still with me. He used to be my neighbor not far down the road, and I swear he looked like Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. Talking about, he looked like a wizard. And he took me under his wing, and I learned a lot from him. And he's still here. His spirit and my spirit guide now. Okay, one more. Oh, there we go. I said one more. She jumps out. Oh, I love her. Sekhmet. Wow, I just spoke about this actually. I'm just going to read it. Sekhmet, the red lady. I am pure strength. I honor my anger by giving voice to it. Oh, guys, this is going to be a long episode if you want to make me talk about this. Sekhmet is Egyptian goddess. Similar to Kali, she encourages us. She's very powerful. Immensely powerful goddess. She encourages us to connect with our strength and our anger. By giving voice to it. Which makes me think another one of my wins is that I'm more outspoken these days. I don't swallow my emotions nor my anger anymore. They're valid. And I hope you validate your feelings too, your emotions, what you feel in the moment, and voice it. I feel so many of us, we're so scared to feel our own anger and we don't quite know what to do with it because it can be disconcerting. When I first felt my anger, the amount of rage I used to carry myself because I myself allowed other people to trespass my boundaries, I was shocked. I had to release that in a constructive way. I took up martial arts. I set up a punching bag in the yard, did lots of exercise to release that energy. Anger is energy. It activates us in a good way. It protects our boundaries. Imagine a female wolf or any mother instinct. I mean, I'm not a mother, but just watch nature. Or animals, when a wolf trespasses another wolf's territory, it's anger. It's like, no trespassing here. And it keeps us safe. It keeps our boundaries safe. And I mean, not in a sense of isolating ourselves, but to have healthy boundaries. This is me up to here. This is you from here. Otherwise, we would all be like merged. And oneness is not about merging, being a wobble. It's about being united, interconnected in our individuality, in our selfhood. We cannot be strong if we're not connected to our own emotions and our own anger. If you feel angry, listen to it. What has been trespassed? Where are you overextending yourself? Maybe not even to do with anyone else. Maybe you yourself are cutting yourself short, are sabotaging yourself, or you're deceiving yourself, and then suddenly anger comes up. Or you're being triggered by somebody. Why are you being triggered? Are you being triggered by an angel? Angels speak words of truth. I met an earth angel and I was so triggered by that person because she spoke the truth to me straight up. She cut through my own BS. And I was so triggered because I'm like, oh my God, I wasn't ready to see it in myself. I wasn't ready to face my own truth. If somebody triggers you, it makes you feel angry, ask yourself why. What is being triggered? It helps you to understand yourself also, your own values. We're triggered when something is being trespassed, where there's an injustice, a perceived injustice, and that's also important. You know, you see me here joyful, and I am. My essence is joy. And everyone has their purpose here. There's other souls who are much more on the, you know, front line with like literally activists and all of that. I so admire, I have a girl crush, Amal Clooney. Oh my God, I never watched this kind of, what do you call this, celebrity stuff, but I don't know how I came across a picture of, or oh yes, a speech by Amal Clooney to, in tribute to her husband, George Clooney. Have you seen this couple? They are just pure love together. God, I want to experience that. But she's also a human rights advocate. She's a lawyer. And she's outspoken. Again, when we connect to ourselves and we have compassion for ourselves and have sat with our own suffering and worked through that, we suddenly are able to see the suffering in the outer world, the shadow in the outer world, and we will say something. We will no longer, once you connect with yourself and heal yourself, you will be outspoken. Throat chakra will open. Using our voice is a sign of liberation. We no longer silence ourselves. And how often do we silence ourselves? Because we think our opinion is who are we to say our part? Nowadays, if I feel something, if I'm triggered or I feel hurt, I say it to the person directly. I don't swallow it and then send evil eyes and I'm resentful and manipulative. No, I used to be like that. I don't do that anymore. I voice it because I feel that maybe the feelings are valid. Maybe the reason of the feelings can be clarified in the situation by talking with the other person. But however, the feeling is valid. So I voice that. At least it gives the other person also a chance to understand me better and how I tick and my potential triggers. Speaking our truth is healing. And when we see injustices or are discerning, when we come across some bullshit, we say it. The truth will set us free, literally. We need more clarity in the world. Less self-deception. And again, you know, I say this, I watch myself. How am I deceiving myself? We know when we're deceiving ourselves when there is a sense of incongruence. There's a slight offness in the belly, in the gut. You know when you're lying to yourself, deep down. Congruence means our thoughts, our feelings, our words, our actions are in alignment. There's no dissonance. We don't say one thing and mean something else. Or we don't want one thing and act out of alignment. Being in alignment means literally that. Being aligned with our wish, with the universal, with our higher self, but in one line, not in dissonance. So Sekhmet, which encourages us to listen to our anger. What does it have to say? Just like we listen to our fears, we encourage a democracy in our internal psychological ecosystem. We don't bulldoze our aspects anymore. So if you need strength, pray to Sekhmet. We don't have to come to her being all pure and without fault. Bring your entire authentic self to her. Just be respectful. Flaws and all. She will hear you and she will support you and give you strength, solidity, steadfastness, rigor, royalty, dignity, audacity in the good sense, vitality, power, all attributes from Sekhmet. Bandidos, how are we doing with time? I had a technical glitch, so I'm going to post this together. A bit of a collage of a episode today, but why not? We go with the flow now. Guys, I'll leave you with this. Today is Thursday. We're going to have another reading coming up, another episode coming up soon, because I feel the words bubbling out of me again. The words are flowing. So we're riding that wave. Let me know how you're doing. And let me know if you want a one-on-one tarot reading or some coaching. I think I'll go into the coaching, what it can do for you, how it can be of benefit to you in another episode, whether it's with me or someone else. I'll share with you my own experience, because I had coaching too. I still have coaching, actually. It's something I would like to continue to have as a reflector. But I'll leave you with this for now, and I hope you're doing well on this beautiful, it's almost the last day of June. Where did June go? Crazy. I hope you're settling in and embodying more of your soul, more of your higher self, and are flowing with the energy after having released a lot. I hope you're connecting with yourself, with your emotions, letting them flow through you, not hanging on to them and repressing them, because that's when things stagnate and makes us sick. Yeah? Aloha. Stay blessed, guys. Owl and I've got your back, literally. And I'll see you for the next episode coming up super soon. Ciao.